Yo, hey, this shit easy, nigga. Hey, all I'm talking about, nigga, I'm still out here trying to get it.
Contender Regime Boxing, checking back in with y'all, man. What's good? So let's talk about the September 30th mega fight between Jermell Charlo and Canelo Alvarez. We talked about it and gave our initial thoughts when the fight first got announced. But now we want to dive a little bit deeper and more so from the aspect of Jermell Charlo and his chances of winning this fight. As we all know, Canelo Alvarez is the undisputed champion at 168 pounds. He's dominated that entire division. Still some guys in that division that he hasn't fought yet, like the David Benavidez's of the world. Nonetheless, Canelo Alvarez has pretty much dominated that division and collected all of the belts. He's even went as far as to fight at 175, had a couple of fights up there, beat Kovalev, lost to Dimitri Bivol. So he's the guy that has been fighting at the higher weight. This fight is going to take place at 168 as far as I know. And I believe Canelo Alvarez's titles will be on the line. It's going to be at 168. And we got to look at it from Jermell Charlo's point of view because he's the fighter coming up. He's the fighter that's deemed as the underdog. He's the fighter that's deemed as the cherry picked by a lot of people. He's the fighter that is fighting the uphill battle. Jermell Charlo being the undisputed champion at 154 pounds, two weight classes below, never fought beyond the 154 pound division. So it's definitely going to be interesting to see how he looks beyond 154. We know that Canelo Alvarez is 5'8". Naturally probably walking around like 180, something along them lines. Jermell Charlo, he's 5'11 and a half, almost 6 feet, right around, 5'11. And we don't know what he's going to look like at 160 or 168. So a lot of interesting factors in this fight. But Jermell Charlo, does he have a chance? I'm here to tell you that Jermell Charlo has more than a chance to beat Canelo Alvarez. I'm here to tell you that Jermell Charlo is a real threat to beat Canelo Alvarez. Let's break it down. If you look at Canelo in overall in his career, he's been more so a counterpuncher that walks forward with great head movement, which is dangerous as fuck because he's putting so much mental and physical pressure on you, more so mental than anything, because he slowly but surely stalks you down. And with the great head movement coming forward, he can easily make you miss a shot that you're committing to and make you pay with something big. Canelo Alvarez is one of the most elite counterpunchers in the sport. He hits you with sharp, hard, stiff counters in the places where you didn't expect it, shots that you don't see, some that you do see, but you can't brace for because you out of position, you done missed the shot, and he done hit you with the little whoopsie-doo with the head movement, got you in a position that you didn't think you was going to be in. Now he either going to catch you with a big-ass body shot or something up top that's going to hurt real bad. That's what Canelo do. Now, I will say over his last few fights and fighting at the higher weight, he still has been looking sharp. He hasn't looked, I ain't gonna say he looked his best. I think his run at 168 was incredible. I mean, he didn't fight no real killers if we keeping it 100, you know what I'm saying? But just looking at the performances, like the performance versus Callum Smith, he looked unbeatable almost, you know what I'm saying? Just in the ring with that level of competition, the way he performed, he looked phenomenal. Versus Caleb Plant, he didn't look that great in the first half of the fight, but Caleb Plant couldn't keep up the movement. Stamina started to go down. He eventually cornered him. That's again going back to that mental and physical pressure because you moving and you thinking at some point, man, this dude he getting closer and closer and closer. Now them counter shots that he throwing, them bitches starting to land, and he's starting to land often. So with that being said, We know what Canelo Alvarez bringing to the table stylistically. Jermell Charlo, he has every tool that you need to defeat the style of a Canelo Alvarez. Number one, he's going to be the longer, rangier guy. He has a great jab. He can box going forward and going backwards. In this fight, I like Jermell Charlo more so on the move, at least for the first half of the fight, on the move, making Canelo Alvarez work, make him use that gas tank in the first half of the fight. Jermell Charlo has a great stiff jab, very accurate jab, very active when he want to, be more consistent with it, to the head and to the body, of course. He's a great counterpuncher in himself. Jermell Charlo don't get a lot of credit for his ability to counter because everybody's so used to him being dominant, throwing big knockout shots, going for the kill. But Jermell Charlo is a phenomenal counterpuncher, and I think he can put Canelo in some situations where, he's countering the counterpuncher. Canelo coming forward, Jermell Charlo can use jabs and feints to get Canelo to open up, get him to commit to a shot that he thought was going to be a miss, and then throw a counter shot, and then Jermell can come back with his own counter. Jermell also has the hand speed advantage in this fight, in my opinion, where he has the opportunity to be first at times to let off his shots and be the ring general. Power. I think we already know Jermell Charlo is a high-level knockout artist when it comes to the power. He has real power, elite level power. We don't know what that's going to look like at 168, but my guess would be that power is going to carry up with him being a naturally big guy. For 154, I think he can carry that up. We just don't know what it's going to look like versus guys that naturally fight at 168 like a Canelo Alvarez. So that's going to be an interesting factor. But I really see Jermell Charlo being able to use the ring. We know Canelo Alvarez he's had troubles with movers before. I don't think he's ever fought a mover like this with the athleticism and the power and just the natural gifts that Jermell Charlo possesses. It's going to be something different that Canelo Alvarez got to deal with. I think when the fight is in the middle of the ring and it's more of a chess match, I like Jermell Charlo in a lot of those exchanges as well. It goes back to the counterpunching ability. It goes back to the reach advantage. It goes back to the hand speed edge that I give to Jermell Charlo. And I think both of them going to have to respect each other's power. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think Canelo is going to be super reckless. I think he's going to take the approach of walking forward and trying to corner Jermell Charlo, get him on the ropes and let off his shots and just slowly but surely walk him down and break him down. I think that's going to be Canelo Alvarez's approach. I think that's going to be his only approach. That's the only approach that he can take in this fight. He's not going to fight off the back foot. You know what I'm saying? We know what Canelo Alvarez bringing to the table. I think Derrick James and Jermell Charlo, and shout out to Juan Guzman as well, I think they're going to come up with a really good game plan. And there's so many options for Jermell Charlo in this fight. I can see him taking Canelo to the cards and winning on a decision, because if the fight goes past 9-10, that means Jermell Charlo has been moving well. He's been landing decent enough shots to keep Canelo off of him. And it's been a competitive fight. I like Jermell Charlo possibly winning on the cards. I would not be extremely surprised if Jermell Charlo was able to pull off a stoppage in this fight because of the counterpunching ability, because of the hand speed edge, making Canelo miss when he think he got a clean, sweet counter shot, and he coming back with his own power. Canelo ain't never experienced no shit like this. He been in the ring with Power versus Triple G. He been in the ring with guys that can hit before, but none of them guys had the athleticism and the hand speed advantage along with the size advantage that Jermell Charlo is going to bring to the table. So if I'm for Jermell Charlo, his biggest worry is not getting caught on the ropes and not getting cornered and being reckless so Canelo can counter him with a big shot. It's easier said than done. I know that's not going to be an easy task, and it's going to be something that he's battling throughout that entire fight. But with the IQ and ring generalship of Jermell, with the coaching that Jermell Charlo has, with all of the gifts, and I think Jermell Charlo is gonna be the fresher fighter. Canelo gonna have a lot of miles on him, and he didn't look great in that fight with John Ryder. He beat him up bad, but he didn't look great. I think Jermell Charlo having a little time off, coming off of a fantastic performance, an undisputed performance, and I think he's gonna be the fresher fighter going into this fight. I really like Jermell Charlo's chances, man. And I think what we gonna see is the stamina discrepancy. We gonna see a difference in stamina later on in the fight if it go, longer past the 8th, 9th, and 10th round, and somebody can get beat up because they ain't in shape. You know what I'm saying? Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comments, man. How do y'all feel about this matchup? Do you think that Jermell Charlo has a chance, or you just think he just taking a payday and gonna retire, get his ass whooped, sacrificial lamb? That's what y'all think. You feel what I'm saying? I ain't never seen Jermell Charlo lay down for nobody. You feel me? I think he truly believes that he can win this fight, and I think he just want to challenge himself. You know what I'm saying? And I really like his chances in this fight. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Contender Regime Boxing. I'll holla at y'all boys, man.